Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Given Abilities by 4 Devils. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual. Share this with all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Blamed and it changed him on this channel guys. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And over on Anime King 3, link will be at top of the description, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Betrayed by Hagoromo. So go ahead and enjoy it as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking about all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto was currently on a mission with Lee, Tenten, and Uncle. As they were making their way, they got attacked by a missing Aoi, as he had the Raijin blade that belonged to the second Hokage. As Naruto took on the man by himself, Uncle was shocked and surprised to how powerful Naruto was, as she noticed that Naruto was acting strange, as Naruto quickly took care of Aoi and dealt with the man ending his life with utter ease, despite Aoi being Chunin level or stronger. So with that, Naruto summoned one of the dragons to get there quicker, as Uncle and Tenten noticed that something was wrong with him. He was acting rather strange as he was sitting at the head of a dragon, not talking to any of them, as Uncle was wondering what was going on with him. Before they could, do anything though, the dragon was sent back to the summoning realm by a massive storm that suddenly slammed into them, appearing out of nowhere as they were separated. Lee and the others all separated to different areas, as an old woman who was watching all of them. Naruto was attacked by a bear. He started to fight the thing, as it was a half bear half boar mix, and a lion as well. As Naruto saw another creature, 3 of them attack him at once. It was a ferocious battle as they started to beat down on him, the 3 of them, like they were perfect together when it comes to working together, as they knocked him down. But then, Naruto erupted his devil form as he got up. Using his devil form now against them, Naruto severed and sliced them to pieces like they were nothing, taking them on and showing them who's boss. Meanwhile, Lee was facing off against a wolf. Lee almost died, but he was saved by his other half. His other half that said that he was separated from him at birth. That is the reason why he didn't have chakra. Lee was shocked as he fused his other half, turning into a different being. Even his appearance changed, as he was the one that Naruto gave Zabuza's sword, as Lee had devil arms like Naruto as well, and he could scan and also take the ability as he defeated the wolf. Meanwhile, as Tenten found her mother had died a long time ago. She was confused as she chased after her mother, but her mother kept on running away from her. Meanwhile, Uncle was facing off against Orochimaru, as he kept on taunting her as the rage became too much. Then a memory flashed across her mind. A long time ago, Orochimaru had dipped into bloodlines. This was the real Orochimaru in the memory. Anko had that ability, but only when she exhibited rage. Strong amount of rage that he activated, but Orochimaru made sure to suppress it, to use Anko as his pawn back then. But now it was coming back. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the page and check it out for yourself. So what is the beginning of this new episode? Anko stood there, confused, as she wondered how did she got this new power. Before she could think on the matter though, a loud laugh could be heard, as she turned. Good job, Anko-san. You succeeded in this. As the voice sounded like it belonged to an old woman. Who are you? Show yourself, Anko said loudly as she looked around. She then saw a hand came out of a tree, before the entire woman came from the tree. She was 5 feet 7 inches, as she wore a regal clothing. Her face was wrinkled, but her eyes looked like they were full of life. "Who are you?" Uncle asked, as the woman was smiling at her. "My name is Jinju, the sorcerer of this land, and all it has to offer." "You actually live here?" Uncle said. "No, that's surprising. Let me guess, for a woman my age, right?" "Well, I mean," Jinju raised her hand. "It's alright," she said. "Because you're not wrong what you're thinking. After all, I'm over 200 years old." "That old? Huh. She must be drinking some good water or something," Uncle thought. "Yes, I do." Uncle blinked in surprise. "You can read my thoughts," Jinju said. "No, I can't. I just have a great sense of predictability. I can tell by your facial experience you were thinking about my age. So I admitted to you about the spirit water I drink to keep my body healthy and strong enough to live for as long as I can. So if you live around here, do you know where my teammates are?" Uncle asked. "They've been missing for a while, and I would like to locate them before something happened." Jinju nodded. "No problem, just give me a few seconds." She slammed her staff on the trunk of the tree. The tree started to glow spiritual white before they both vanished in a flash of light. With Tenten, she continued to chase after her mother, who was still advancing at a fast pace. That was something she couldn't understand. Her mother was a civilian, and yet she was outrunning her, despite her using chocolate to move faster. But that wasn't her concern right now. She just wanted to see the mother, who she lost years ago. As she started to increase her speed, as she started to gain on her mother. When she was at arm's length, she launched herself, but her mother vanished. All that remained was that tree stump. Tenten stopped. She knew that her mother was gone, and no matter how much she chased after her, or did dream of her to ever see her again, it wouldn't happen. Her mother's dead. She needed to stop chasing after this dream. Probably this was a test of some sort, to make her realize stop chasing after this dream, because it would never happen. Her mother was gone. She would just have to live on with the memories that she had of her. As she started to cry, until Uncle landed behind her. Uncle Sensei, she wiped the tears away. "It's good to see you," she said. "Come on, let's get out of here and find Lee and Naruto. I really want to get out of here," said Uncle. Tenten nodded as she went away with Uncle. A woman, looking to be in her mid-30s, was watching them, as her body looked hollow like she was a ghost. "That's my girl," she said, as she disappeared into nothingness without a trace. With Naruto and Sasha was in an unknown location, as he was chased after the 3 souls after defeating the demons back there. But then, they just vanished. As palm trees were around, blowing softly in the wind, the sun, brightly in the sky above him. He looked around until his eyes landed on something. It was a small shrine with a white orb in the center. He walked towards and reached, but a small barrier came around the shrine. Naruto blinked in surprise as a few of his fingers were gone. He flexed his hand as a bright red chakra came around it. As he looked back at the barrier, it was a source of energy. Bright, celestial white energy, swirling in all different directions. That is why he couldn't break it. "Damn," he said as his fingers started to regrow by the chakra. Its regeneration proven effectively. "Human, you dare try to obtain my power," the orb said with a heavy demonic voice. It sounded like someone that was old and had a lot of wisdom. "Yes, I am. I need to get the hell out of here, and I take it that you're my ticket out of here." The orb rocked the entire shrine as it showed that it was angry. "You dare to think that you can take my power? Well, if that is your wish, let's see you earn it." A tower of light shot right into the sky above him. As Naruto saw the energy fly up in the air as he summoned Yamato, he soon heard a large cry within the ear and the sound of running. Naruto leaped to the side. Something ran past him quickly as he heard hoofs hitting the ground. When he looked behind him, he saw just what came from the sky. It was a large horse pulling a chariot. This was no normal horse though, as it looked very demonic. Blackish blue skin that looked more like armor on his body. Blue fire covered its head and went down to the back of his neck. The horse then stopped and locked eyes with Naruto. Because of this, he got to look at the chariot that the demonic horse was pulling. Dark black coloring, with glowing blue lines that ran all over it. Each of the wheels had blades protruding from them. A bright light shone on the corner where opening can be seen, with a stream of blue fire coming from the bottom of it. As the horse then lifted its leg, now standing on 2 legs as it roared at Naruto. "So it's a game of gladiator you want," said Naruto, as the horse stamped on all 4s. "Come on then," said Naruto, as he watched the thing just run up the sky and came towards him. Naruto shot forward. "Spiral swords," he said. 4 blades came around him and launched towards the horse. The horse stomped its foot in the ground as fire erupted. as the horse leaped over all the blades and came towards Naruto's speed increase. But Naruto twisted his hand as he flipped right over the thing head that tried to crash into him as he teared right into its side. The horse cried out as Naruto flipped and landed behind it. It tried to kick him right in the skull as he ducked. As Naruto flipped over and slashed it in the face several times, blinding it. He shielded his sword as he went through several hand signs, demon art, black fire dragon jutsu, blowing black flames from his mouth to envelop the horse. As the horse exploded, as his soul orb was released, as it came right to him, as there was a flash of light, and Naruto stood with his new weapon, called Seishi. It took the form of a dark, blue chest plate on his chest. The chest plate would light up every few seconds and reflect power off of him. But that wasn't the big thing about this weapon. It was the transparent wings coming off the back of the chest plate, as he could fly with them. They flap as Naruto took off in the air. As he continued to flap them and he was standing in mid-air. This devil arm increases speed and flexibility, with the main property of this weapon being flying. As Sasha was still on his shoulders as she enjoyed the height that they were currently at. After a few flaps he landed, as Shisei left him, as he made his way towards the shrine. As he looked at the orb. "Say boy, what's your name?" Naruto stopped in front of the shrine, not wanting to lose his fingers again. "Naruto Namikaze Sparda," said Naruto. "Very well then, you've impressed me. I hereby accept you to become my master." As the orb floated towards Naruto and approached him. As it entered his body, Naruto felt a sensation. He felt his power boost, but he also felt something different. He felt complete balance, like he had more control over his power. "I guess that light helped balance the darkness within me. Well then, let's see what else is." Naruto dropped to his knees as he coughed violently and held on to his chest. He breathed in heavily. Something was trying to get out and fast. He slowly started to get back on his feet as he collapsed twice. As he struggled to get back to his feet, his legs shaking. As his body shut down for a second, seemed like he stopped breathing. His head then shot up as he roared. A massive tower of black chakra exploded from his body and go straight up to the sky above. The clouds parted and sway around the pillar of darkness as lightning crackled dangerously in it and out of it. The tower swirled around Naruto before split into three sections. One section glowed bright purple, the other celestial white, and the last one blood red. The sections then twirled around him before they burst into particles. As Naruto dropped to his hands and knees, panting heavily, everything about him now glowed a bright celestial blue. His skin was radiantly blue, his hair standing up and blue as well. His eyes showed large white glow. As his new transformation left him as he slumped down on the ground, panting heavily. "What the hell was that?" he said. "Kid, you did it," said the Kyuubi. "I did. What?" "I think I should continue for the Kyuubi, since I hold the more understanding of it. You not only achieve balance within yourself, you also complete the power of your ancestor." "Mar," said Nevin. "What are you talking about exactly?" said Naruto. As he still tried to catch his breath, Sasha was licking his cheek to see if he was alright. He petted her head, showing her everything was alright. "Your ancestor Mar held the power over darkness and light. You just gained his final power over light, and now he can use both," Nevin said, with Naruto looking amazed. "He has now gained another power in his repertoire, and another transformation at his disposal. He had the dark form, and he also had the demonic form of the Kyuubi." A mirror popped up from the ground, and held a reflection in front of him, as he felt a strange pulling sensation as he walked and stepped right through the mirror. Elsewhere, Anko and Tenten slickered through the swamp once more as they were on a snake summon. Anko talked to Tenten what they both went through. Tenten seemed to have a new look on the matter, even though she lost her mother at such an early age. "Are you sure you're fine?" Anko asked. "Yes, I am," said Tenten. "I long since tried to forget that my mother was dead, because I always kept her alive within my memories. But that doesn't change the fact I still miss her. Don't worry, as long as you remember her and the good times you have with her, she will always be with you," said Anko. "Tenten, Anko Sensei." Both girls saw something running beside the snake head before the thing flipped up and landed. Tenten rubbed her eyes. "Lee, is that you?" The boy nodded. What the hell happened to you?" she asked. "Tenten, you wouldn't believe me if I say it slowly," he said. "Uncle, no wonder where was Naruto?" As she was worried. "Back with Naruto." The mirrors shatter behind him as he appeared into a coliseum. As he raised an eyebrow, darkness covered the arena as the place became a barren wasteland, with only large rocks and the occasional dead tree. The ground was completely red like a river of blood, swept through, stained the sand crimson. The sky was a mixture of red and yellows. He also saw a massive multicolored sun with a slit in it, as it looked like some kind of demonic eye. What the hell is this place, he questioned, only to have it answered by someone else. That will be because of me. Naruto turned, but he saw nothing. Huh? Hey, down here! Naruto saw it was his shadow, but the shadow was moving on its own accord. The shadow then stretched out and converged into a circle 10 feet away from him. A black bubble came out of the circle. The bubble then formed into a human form after rising, as it revealed the appearance of Naruto Namikaze. But he was very different. It was a copy of him, but a copy of him in his dark form. In case you're wondering how I'm here, it's quite simple. You see, a long time ago, I was a yin to your yang. I was the result of your gain in darkness power, and I become a manifestation of that power. But how is it that you exist before me, said Naruto? The clone simply shrugged. I don't really know, but what I do know is, I have to kill you in order to take control. As he erupted in black and purple chakra, the clone then leaned his head back and roared that shook the air all around them. As Naruto felt the thing power start to grow even more, soon he exploded with raw power. The three white orbs that Naruto tried to get from earlier fly into his dark form as the dark form started to crack before he exploded. As Naruto covered his face from the light, when the light cleared, his clone was standing there but in a new form. His whole body was covered in some type of armor that was a spiritual, celestial white and blue. In his right hand was a Zanbedo, a large, flaming one. As Naruto didn't understand what the hell was going on right now. What the hell are you? He asked, as he summoned Yamato and gripped it. I am you, but I will prove that I am superior than you. Right now, I am the Celestial Knight, Kuruma. As Naruto unsheathed his blade as Kuruma brought up a knight's shield and blocked Naruto's blade. As Naruto jumped back, Kuruma fired a blast of energy towards Naruto. As Naruto fired a blast of energy from Yamato as the both of them collided and the entire place went white. Both of them dashed forward towards each other, weapons ready. When they both met, Kuruma blade started to struggle against Naruto. Naruto twists his hand, flipped Yamato over to his left hand and swing towards his copy head. But he ducked under the slash, watching his sword pass his face. The knight then drive forward towards Naruto midsection, but Naruto blocked it with Yamato. As Naruto summoned his newest weapon, Shishi, the gauntlets and greaves and chestplate form with the wings as well. As he flapped the wings, taking off the ground as he grabbed onto Kuruma's hand and swing him. As he drive him straight towards the earth. Kuruma flipped though as he landed on his feet, only to get struck right in the chest by a humming blade from Naruto's attack as he skidded back. You think that's gonna win against me? Kuruma said. As Naruto cursed, how the hell am I gonna beat this guy? He's basically me with my dark form. Try using a new transformation to gain, Master, Nevin said. But how? Said Naruto. I don't even know how to access it, let alone use it. As he dodged another strike from a knight. Trust me, you can use it. Just imagine the feeling you felt in that form, and the power will respond to you. Naruto nodded as he closed his eyes and focused, as he felt the warm, inviting power, not the fear and darkness. Once he located, he opened his eyes and smirked. Good job, Master. Now, embrace it. It will infuse itself with you. Naruto nodded as he started pulling the power he felt. Once he did, he smirked, as Nevin spoke once again. And remember, Master, you must maintain full control over this new power you have gained. It will only work for those of a strong will. Naruto held on to Yamato tightly as the knight looked at him. Are we going to do this or what? I'm really in a mood to kill you, the knight said. Naruto simply smiled, as he wished. Transparent wings started to form. A veil of light enveloped him, and it cracked. As Naruto stood there in his newest transformation, the light engine that surrounded him started to illuminate the room that they were in, as well as his devil arms in his hand. Shichi was now full white, with blue lines going across it, the wings now spiritual white and longer. Yamato was now bright blue instead of the purple view. As Naruto lowered his head and did not say anything, the knight took this as a shot as he shot forward to end Naruto's life. But Naruto grabbed his blade. The knight was shocked. As Naruto waved his hand, three cracking sound could be heard as the front part of the knight armor cracked. He was shocked as hell. How did he move that fast he couldn't even see him? The knight quickly brought up his shield to protect him from his sword strike. As Naruto pulled back Yamato, it slammed into his shield with such force that he had to drop it. But the knight wasn't going to allow Naruto to win so easily, as he raised his blade to slice Naruto in half. But Naruto simply waved his hand once again with Yamato in it. Several slashes came across his body as Naruto muttered the words, "Serenity." Blasted his clone away as he dropped the sword that he held. The clone slowly got back to his feet. The moment he did, though, Naruto was in front of him, a Rasengan in hand, as he slammed it right in Kuruma's head. The blast obliterated the air around the two as Kuruma fly and hit the ground hard. He coughed violently as he turned his head slowly towards Naruto. Guess I have to go back. Oh well, it was fun. His body dissolved in the shadow particles as he then vanished. As Naruto's body returned back to normal, as he watched the darkness flow into him, he released a breath. That fight was a bit taxing, but at least all of this was over. Suddenly, a bright light consumed him and Sasha. As Naruto blinked, he was in front of the mirror place where this all started. What the hell? Naruto kind of voice shouted, as Naruto's face was smashed between two pairs of breasts. As he didn't fight back or do anything, as it felt so wonderful, as he was Uncle, as Naruto's face was muffled, until he slowly turned, as she was holding on to him sideway, hugging him. As he saw what looked like Lee, but different, Tenten, and the old woman there. Very well done, my boy. I can tell that you hold a lot of power in that body of yours, Jinju said, with Naruto raised eyebrow at her. How did you know how much power you hold? She said, cutting him off. These old eyes might not be as strong as they used to be in the past, but they still allow me to see aura, and you hold the strongest aura here. But I can tell your future will be a test of your power. And the fate of this world is gonna fall on your shoulders, she said. As she started to walk off to another tree, her body slowly fusing with the root. Come find me when you're ready, and I will tell you the future of your destiny that you will have. She snapped her finger, and all of them are gone, in a flash of light. All of them reappear in mid-air, on top of Naruto Dragon. The team was confused how they got back in the air, or that it was Naruto Dragon giving them a ride. However, Naruto was deep in thought to what just happened. Time skip next day. The sounds of gunshots could be heard, as Naruto was teaching Tenten how to use the new copy of Blood Fang, Royal Fang, and Lee how to use the gun, Vulcan. As Naruto decided to give Lee the gun, it will help him become more powerful. However, Naruto was still trying to understand how that Lee was a member of the Kazuma clan by blood, and the fact that he had its own devil power called the machine gun. It turned out another ability that I have, it could never be turned off. So Naruto simply gave Lee a set of sunglasses to cover his eyes. Lee enjoyed the training and in return taught the boy some taijutsu. Today was however different, as Naruto was asked to attend the Hyuga clan for a formal dinner, as he wondered what's going on. Time skip. Later that night, Hyuga compound. Hinata was a nervous wreck as her father just told her that her crush was going to be coming. Well, he didn't say her crush, but he was a crush. The first thing that happened, she fainted, and she woke up 2 hours later. She was now dressed in one of her formal kimono, which hugged her body a bit too tightly, as she was maturing faster than the other girls. It was a lavender kimono, tied together with a dark blue obi. The bottom part had designs of flowers floating on top of water. To her father's left sat her little sister Hanabi, as Hanabi was wearing a white kimono that was tied together with a brown obi. One of the doors was open, and one of the branch members came inside. He whispered something to her father, who nodded and came back out. 2 minutes later, and the door was open once again. Hinata's breath caught in her throat. A boy walked in, no older than she was, whisker-like markings on his cheeks. He wore a dark blue kimono that looked almost purple, with a white robe underneath. His hair was dark white in color and was slicked back, so it wouldn't cover his blue eyes. Greetings, Naruto-san. It's nice of you to attend this dinner. Naruto gave a respectful bow. Good evening to you as well, Hayashi-sama. As Naruto sat at the spot reserved for him. Good evening to you as well, Hinata-chan, he said, as she blushed. As Naruto had a smile on his face, as he looked towards the girl at the other end. She was trying to give him a very cold Hyuga face, but she was too young. It just looked kind of funny. Well, allow me to introduce you to my daughters. As you know, my oldest is Hinata. the heiress to the clan, and my youngest, Hanabi. She was named after my late mother when she died, when Hinata was 3 months old. Naruto nodded, as the meal were there for them to eat. As Naruto ate, the girls were looking at him slightly. After, they had a nice meal. The dishes were clear. Hayashi cleared his throat. Now then, Naruto, while I wish we may have a normal conversation, I want to ask something of you. Naruto nodded. As you know, my daughters are both heir to this clan, with Hinata being the first to obtain the seat. However, due to certain events that transpired over the past years, her progress hasn't been up to snuff, as you may say. Hinata looked down at that. For a while, I thought that she was acting weak, until I realized I can't teach her the ways of gentle fist. Well, not the way I would fight using it. Hinata and Hanabi was confused. You see, the gentle fist style is very weak in the hands of female members, due to the fact they would have the force, wild strength to help use it. Hinata is too flexible to use his style, so I'm unable to teach her the way I normally would. So you're saying you'd like me to teach Hinata and her to axe? Not just Hinata, but Hanabi as well. I need to make sure they can learn without the pressures of trying to impress me. Naruto was sure that you want something else. I take that you want something else, he asked. Yes, certain events in the last couple of years made me come to this recently. Naruto, I would like for you to take my daughter into your home and basically be engaged to my oldest daughter, Hinata, and Hanabi within your custody. The two girls looked shocked at that, as Naruto looked at the man. Your clan and my own was always allies. It was even stated that your clan joined the Uchiha and Senju alliance due to my clan recommendation, as well as the fact that we were part of it beforehand. I think it would be the best to keep the peace between us and accept your offer of following them into my home. Hayashi smiled as he extended his right hand, as Naruto shook it. Things certainly were changing nowadays, and Naruto was looking forward towards all of it. Time skip. 3 weeks passed since the dinner, as Naruto had 2 new roommates, Hanabi. As Hayashi told him, due to recent circumstances, they need to live there for a while until things get sorted out. As Naruto didn't mind, as long as they didn't eat enough of his ramen, he didn't mind the idea of being a woman all day and every single day. Sure, there might be a little scuffling between them, but he wouldn't mind. He was now standing in his personal training ground, as he had 2 clones there, one of them holding Yamato and one of them holding Rebellion. Now let's see how long we can last in the forms. One of them took on the celestial form of light, the other one took on the darkness form, and Naruto took on his Kyuubi form. As they started the clash, he wanted to see how long he can hold them for, as the 3 of them engaged and started clashing against each other. Time skip. As Naruto had to get some rest, he had to go on a mission with his teammates, if you could call them that. As Naruto stepped out of the shower with a towel wrapped around his waist, and now stood within the master bedroom of the house. His room, of course. The rooms in the house were actually a suite. Well, they were not like the ones that was found in the Golden Leaf Hotel. Hanabi room, for example, according to Hinata and Hanabi, dwarfed the size of their rooms back at the Hyuga compound, seeing that Hyugas live a rather traditional, simple life. Each suite that they had in this house contained 2 rooms within them, a main room and the bed chamber. The main room had a couch, 2 chairs, both blue in color, with a small table separating them, with a blue carpet underneath this. There was also a 46-inch flat screen TV mounted on the wall. To the right of the room entrance there was another door, this one connecting the room to Hinata's. To the left was a walk-in closet, and to the right of that was her bed, a queen-size bed. All in all, Hanabi liked her new situation, as she no longer had to deal with the Hyuga elders. Making his way, as Naruto's room was the largest, as he entered his master suite, as there was also a mini bar in the room, and there was a power fire trucker place under the TV, which could be controlled by a remote control. His bed chamber was also a bit spacious than the others as well. The TV was mounted up on the wall, distant from the fireplace, well, although it had a protective seal just in case. In the center of the room was a king-size bed that snow white curtains surrounding it. To the right there was a dresser and a sword rack that could hold at least 5 swords. This was where he kept Rebellion, Yamato, and Kyuubi when he didn't have them with him. There was a smaller dresser to the left, matching the big one, as he put on a pair of pants, a mesh shirt, and combat boots. He was about to walk over to the walk-in closet, but he stopped at the mirror as he looked at the tattoos on his arms. The sword tattoos were getting boring. He needed to get some new tattoos to show off his style, but he didn't know which one to use. Kid, I think I know what you can use. What do you have in mind? Fox tattoos? Naruto said. No, it's not a fox tattoo. It's a one that a man named Randy Orton used to have many years ago. Naruto raised his eyebrow. Randy Orton? Who the hell is that? He asked. The fox laughed. Only the most insane and awesome person ever existed, before John Cena of course. Anyway, Randy Orton was called a Viper, seeing that he could defeat you the moment you let your guard down. He had some of the best artwork done on both of his arms. Here's what he looked like, as the Kyuubi showed Naruto an image of Randy Orton. Naruto whistled at the images and looked at his arms. "I guess I have to bring back the old ones and then reform them," said Naruto. As he focused, the engine in his skin returned and moved towards his arms. They started to change and turn. After a few more minutes, he opened his eyes and marveled at the appearance, as his tattoos had twisted and formed neatly upon his arms. They were covered from the shoulders with all the demonic tattoos that he's gained so far. Agni and Withdraw was on the bottom of his arms. Dark patterns twisting that touched the roses. The pattern on his arm held a grey while the other one had a blue view. Pandora and Cerberus. On his biceps were black armbands, and his shoulder going down was nothing but skull from the spider. As he looked at his back, there was a bat-like pattern on it. Nevin, another tattoo, was going over his shoulders and his pecs as well, with a necklace tattoo on his neck with a jewel on the end of it that was from the Kyuubi. Naruto marveled at the new form his tattoo has taken. He held his left arm towards Yamato as it broke into a particle of lights and came towards him, as a 6-point star appeared on the back of his arm. As he held his hand towards Rebellion and absorbed it as well, a black skull with ribcage on both sides formed. Naruto then put on a pair of black gloves with his black vest, with all his gun in their holsters. He gave himself a look over as he made his way toward the kitchen where Hinata was cooking. He grew used to eating her cooking. She was a pretty good cook. Haku cooked for him once and he was bedridden for 5 days. She overspiced things a lot. Had a great body, but a horrible cook. Time skip. Naruto was exiting a movie theater with a bag of popcorn as his teammates were glaring at him. Why? Because they were kicked out of the movie they were watching, while Naruto remained and he wasn't caught. The truth was, it was thanks to Sakura weak ass and Sasuke dumbass why they got kicked out, as Naruto did not follow Sasuke's idea and watch a move from the roof. While the two of them got kicked out, the movie wasn't really bad, as he was inside the theater, upon the railing roof, watching the entire thing. It seems like the movie was based on a true story. But then again, there were 2 attractive girls there also. They were watching the movie with him. They were also touching his arm. Asked him where did he get such tattoos, as Naruto didn't mind one bit. As Naruto finished his popcorn, as Sakura tried to get Sasuke to talk to her, but to no avail. She then looked at Naruto as she wanted to ask a question for so long. Naruto, as Sasuke narrowed his eyes. "How is it that you look different and act different from when you did in the academy?" she asked. "Nice to see you wait that long to ask me," said Naruto. "Anyway, if you must know, this is the result of my bloodline," as he pointed the white ear. As Sasuke just looked at him. Sasuke had his Sharingan activated now, as he gained on a mission, while Naruto was out of town. But he went on with Kakashi and Sakura. "I didn't know you have a bloodline," she said. Naruto simply shrugged. "Not many people do. You'll have to be looking directly at me to see it work." "Dope, what does your bloodline do?" Naruto looked at him for a full 5 seconds, before he simply sighed. "If you must know, it worked with healing." Sasuke scoffed. "That is not really much of a bloodline, dope," as he smirked, thinking that he won over Naruto on that. "And neither is that loser I your clan used to wipe their own ass with. My bloodline helped me recover my strength faster, and I can recover from chakra exhaustion at a much faster pace. Your stupid clan has depended on coping others to get stronger. All I have to do is rest for a minute and I can keep going. Plus, it's thanks to my bloodline can satisfy any girl I gain for hours on end. And for you, your boyfriend, would probably have to wait so long for you to get ready." Sasuke looked pissed, but strangely, Sakura didn't look angry. She looked mesmerized. Suddenly, a horse leaped over the gate. The lead actress of the movie was riding on top of it. The gate burst open and a group of armored people and horses came through. Sasuke jumped back and Sakura rolled to the side. Naruto jumped into the air, jumping so high he landed in the building behind him, as he decided to chase after the group, seeing them chasing after the actress. As he headed after her, Sasuke and Sakura went after her as well. One of the men took a turn and came out in front of the actress, forcing her horse to stop, as he threw a net at her, but it was shredded by a few shuriken. A boy dressed in all black coming from the sky. As they saw him multiplying to 9, the clones fell on the horse riders. The actress quickly went around the down rider, as more of them went around the down rider as well, going after her same way. As Naruto pulled out Angel and Reaper and fire, not enough to kill them, but knocked them off the horses. The actress came to a flight of stairs and the horse jumped to get to the bottom. A few of her pursuers were still there as they threw a vial of liquid at the head of her to make the horse slip. And it did as it slipped, as the woman flied off the horse. As the leader came there, "We finally caught you," he said. Blue dress pants and a blue shirt, with a long brown cloak over it, as it was tied in a ponytail his hair. with a small beard and you wear a pair of dark sunglasses. The actress fought her way out from the pads. They tried to hold on to her as she slammed her elbow in one of their faces. Then a poof of smoke, she turned into Sakura. "Who are you?" the man said. At that moment, Sasuke appeared on the back of the horse. The man turned and Sasuke chopped him in the back of the neck as he fell to the floor unconscious. The armored people saw Sasuke as he turned towards him with a glare. They took off running. They didn't get far though, as Sakura was in front of them, her arms folded across her chest. Once they got close enough, inner Sakura made her appearance. In a few minutes, they got the man unmasked and tied up. As Kakashi arrived, "Oh my. What are you guys doing?" said Kakashi. "Just wasting time," Sasuke said, dusting off his hands. Kakashi disappeared as he reappeared in front of the leader, as all the ropes fell apart, as he held the man up. "I'm sorry about that." "What?" said Sakura. "This person is declined for the mission," said Kakashi. Meanwhile, the real actress, Yuki Fujikage, stopped in front of a small meadow as she allowed herself and her horse to get a drink. As she turned to see a boy with a tattoo on his arms walking towards her, he was looking directly at her. "So you're Miss Fujikaze?" The princess fumed. "I have to say the last move was pretty good. That because it was probably a ninja flick." He would have said more if she didn't jump on a horse and charge towards him, as Yuki made the horse go faster. You know, that was rather rude. As Naruto was sitting on the back of the horse. "But you're really not bad at this horse riding stuff," he said. She blinked as she looked behind her. She made the horse speed up though, as she speeded through the town. Going through a steep alleyway, she ripped the sleeve of her arm. "You know, you should really slow down, you might hit someone." She didn't respond to him though, she just kept on going. Unfortunately though, she went right in the path of a few kids that was going by. She pulled back on the horse, forcing them to stop. But she wasn't holding on too tight as she was pushed off the horse by the leading momentum. But she wasn't on the ground as she was being held up. She looked to see the white hair boy was holding on to her. As Naruto placed her on her feet, "Okay, whatever your problem is, you need to really check it because they're beginning to piss me off." She brushed herself off, ignoring him as she walked towards the down horse. But the kids rushed up to her with pads and pens in their hands. "Are you Princess Fune?" one of the little girl asked. "No, I am not Princess Fune," Yuki said. The kids crowded in front of her, making her stop. As Naruto watched, this lady had little kids asking for her autograph, and she was acting like a real bitch in front of them. You don't do shit like that to kids and ruin their self-esteem. Little girl didn't seem to be bothered by that though, as she just held her pad closer. "I know that. I'm a huge fan of your movies, Miss Fujikaze. Could I please have your autograph?" The woman slapped away the notepads from her. "Cut it out already. I don't give out autograph or anything else of the sort. You guys will just lose them, or let them collect dust. It's nothing special to you all, because by the time you're my age, you would have forgotten about them. And I wouldn't be anything special anymore. What's the point of me signing anything in the first place?" Some of the kids started to cry, as they started to run away from her, with the adults around glaring at her for what she did. As Naruto shook his head and followed after her, hiding his presence, with Team 7, the rest of the team, as they were at the studio. "Okay, you two, here's the mission specs. The Hokage has entrusted us to the protection of the actress Yuki Fujikage, aka Princess Fune. From the movie I had you guys watch." The both of them growled, as they never got the chance to finish the movie, only Naruto did. Kakashi paid no attention to that though. "We must keep her safe on our trip," while they filmed the third sequel to the Princess movie. Sakura raised her hand to ask a question. "So are we just basic guards for her?" Kakashi nodded. "Well, yeah, basic escorts." The assistant came over. "Yes, Miss Fujikaze play a very high role in this film. No one else but her can play this down to the letter. Plus, seeing how this is the first time it's being filmed overseas, we need all the protection we can have." The assistant wore white jeans, a blue shirt, and a jacket over it, with a blue hat covering up his orange hair. "But knowing the reputation of a leaf, we fully trust you guys to keep her safe," the director said. As Sakura turned and saw a photo. "Wow, such a beautiful cliff," she said. "Those are the snow country, Rainbow Glacier." Still a new voice. Turn around, Sakura saw two more men. The black hair one, Sakura, looked like she was freaking out when she saw the man. You're Ken, the actor that played Brit in the movie," Sakura said. The man nodded. "And you're Hideo-san, the man that played the actor Shishimaru." Sasuke rolled his eyes and Sakura was taking this way overboard, acting like a fangirl once again. "The last scene for the movie will be filmed there," the second man said. Sasuke raised his eyebrow. "We sure are going far for going the land of snow." That was the manager, Sandia. Recommendation: He said that it would be the perfect place for her to perform, at the peak of her talent. The assistant said, looking at the picture closely, legend has it, in times of spring, the rainbow glacier glows several colors for all to see. But this is nothing more than a myth, said Kakashi. In reality, it is said to be in constant snow. Never once has a land seen the sunlight, or felt the radiant heat that it gives. There is just constant snow, he said, as he remembered being there, and how cold it was. Meanwhile, as Naruto was trailing after the actress, as she went into a store and came out in different clothing, black pants, a pink shirt, and a tan trench coat, and a pair of dark sunglasses with a hat as well. As Naruto followed behind her, she pulled out a mirror, as she saw no one behind her when she looked through the reflection. As she went to the nearest bar, as he entered as well, as she was staring at a crystal in her hand, with a drink in the other, as Naruto sat down beside her and ordered a drink. Harem, said Naruto. I'm only going to say this once. I'm not Princess Fune, she said, as she chugged down her drink. Naruto's drink came as he took a sip of it. This was by far stronger than any alcohol he ever drank before. Well, I don't know your name, that's why I call you Harem. I mean, sure, I don't go to the movies often, because I have more important things to do with my time, such as training, but I have to make sure that you're alright. She chuckled. That's the first time I heard someone say that to me. Especially, she said, as Naruto simply shrugged. Even though you're this great actress, that doesn't mean you have to be a bitch to everyone, said Naruto. Great actress, she said, as she laughed. Being an actress is the worst job ever. It's like a religion. You have to follow other people's script, act how they want you to, and be in a world that is packed with lies, and continue to act like you're better than everyone. It's a really stupid lifestyle to go through. You're already drunk, said Naruto. And you're annoying. Hurry up and disappear, will ya? Sorry, but I have to get you on that boat to the hidden snow, said Naruto. So hurry up and finish that drink so we can get the hell out of here. She took another swip, as she realized she drank the last drop. It's alright, she said, as she almost fell over, but Naruto caught her. I'm not going. But that happened all the time. Something go wrong and the main character get replaced. The director get replaced. The side character get replaced. It always happens. I'm afraid you're stuck with that rule, said Naruto. She slapped him, just a tiny slap. It's alright, she said, slurring her words. I can just stay here and find a guy and get laid, before finding another movie to work on. Say, how old are you? You wanna lay with me, she asked, rubbing his cheek a bit. But Naruto didn't look amused. Sure, getting laid was something you want to do, but this woman was just drunk. I loved her, but I'm being paid to guard this spoiled actress, and I want my money, so he punched her right in the stomach. Yuki fell over as Naruto caught her. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to waste, he said, as he put her on his shoulder and walked towards the bar doors. Just then the door opened and Sandio nearly ran into a man, but he avoided as he made his way over with Kakashi and Sakura and Sasuke. What did you do? Time Sama, said Sandio, as he saw Naruto with Yuki over his shoulder. Don't worry, I just knocked her out. I just saved you a lot of time by taking care of this bitch. Sandio sighed as he knew that Yuki can be a pain sometime. But Naruto was holding her with one arm, while holding a drink in another. Sasuke and Sakura were shocked that Naruto was drinking alcohol, and Kakashi was surprised that the bartender served to a minor. Are you idiots gonna stand here, or are we gonna get the hell out of here? As he walked past him and headed onto the streets, as Naruto got a swig of his drink, and felt liquor run down his throat. Naruto, since when did you start drinking? And when did you get tattoos? Asked Sakura. When you realized that Sasuke liked to wear Hello Kitty panties around his house, and sing, I'm a pretty little princess. Sasuke tensed for a quick second, as Naruto blinked. Wait, do you actually do that? Dude, I was just joking with the gay shit. I didn't think you really play for that team. As Sasuke glared at him and stepped forward. I guess I gotta get him a copy of A.G.E. Athletic Edition to cope with his denial, said Kakashi. Naruto, you didn't answer my question, said Sakura. Look, it's been a long day, and I'm not gonna deal with you right now, okay? Ask me another time, okay? As he ignored her. Sakura sighed, she dropped the subject. Time skip. I see, so she has the crystal. A man said as he was in the shadows. The actress is surely Koiki Kazuhana, another one said, kneeling in front of the first. 10 years of searching is finally paying off, a female voice said. If it was just a girl, it would be too easy, another male said, his voice more gruff. However, Koyuki seemed to have an escort, Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi Hatake, the third man said. Seems like fate is rewinding, the female said. None of them said anything else as the movie with Yuki in it was playing. The next day, Yuki awoke to the feeling of sun in her eyes as she pulled up her arm to cover her face. as she sat up and rubbed her head as she felt a headache. Are you awake? Yuki-san, Sandia said. Sandia, can you bring me some water? My head feel like it's splitting. I may be hallucinating, but I feel like I'm swaying from left to right. No, that's not your imagination, Sandia said. Wait, what? She rushed out the door. Ignore the headache at the moment. What the hell is this, she said, as they were in the middle of the ocean. Time skip. Yuki was pouting as she was sitting. Makeup was being applied to her face. As Team 7 was standing, Kakashi was reading his porno. As Sasuke was brooding as usual. Sakura was admiring the ocean and smelling the air. And Naruto was nodding his head, listening to an MP3 player, as he saw Yuki cursing to get her makeup applied, as she was just miserable at everything. As it made Naruto really pissed off, Sakura noticed a look. What's wrong, Naruto? You're not usually crabby by this time, she said. I really don't like that bitch, said Naruto. What are you saying, Naruto? Said Kakashi, still reading his book. You know whatever happened, we have to protect her. This is an A-rank mission, you know? Sakura was surprised. This A-rank mission? It shouldn't be that hard to just protect a simple actress, said Sasuke in a rather bored tone. Well, you didn't think it would be hard to protect a bitch builder. See how that turned out, said Naruto. Naruto's right, Sasuke, said Kakashi. Famous people are always being targeted. They're always viewed as moneymakers, bandits and thieves. And ninjas as well. Plus, we don't know who the enemy is, so don't let your guard down. As Naruto simply leaned back on the railing, he had a bad feeling that something bad was going to happen. And yes, he was right, as always. But guys, if you end this episode right here, fun things Sparda to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also, go ahead and check out brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Blamed. And it changed him, guys, that I post on this channel. And enjoy that, guys. And over on Anime King 3, I'll be putting a link at the top of the description. I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Betrayed by Hagoromo, guys. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.